I'm Natalie.
And I'm Hannah. Welcome to the Stride Sisters podcast. On today's episode, the dog days of summer are upon us, which definitely threw a wrench into some of our training plans. Not all is lost though, since there has been some progress on the ongoing shoe saga. Then, we talk about some announcements regarding the Disney news this week. Yes, we are going to talk about Buzz Lightyear. Finally, we close off the week with a discussion on the upcoming Destination D23 event at Walt Disney World this weekend. So lace up your shoes and step into the magic with us.
It's the dog days of summer, everybody.
It is. There's no happy balance in a two-story home in Georgia in the summer. You can't have a nice air conditioning bill and a cool house. And we can't have nice audio and my fan on. So we're finding not the happy balance.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to be a downer. What a way to start an episode. You're gonna hear why I'm in the, I don't even know. I'm having a rough go. I'm having a rough go.
Yeah, I don't have any positive news to add to that. I was just out of town for a funeral, so yeah, great. Better luck next month, which starts in a couple days. So it's fine. We're fine.
It's fine.
It's
gonna be great.
September is a new month, and the last third of the year. Which, yeah, that didn't make me feel better.
No. It's the burr months, which means I get to pull out decorations, which means we get to have hot cocoa, which means we get to have fireplaces, and we get to watch movies and snuggle under blankets and light candles. I can't think of other things, but that's a lot of things, and those are all things I like.
That's fair.
Here we come. It may not be burr here, but it'll still be burr in the name.
See, because I just watched Hamilton a couple weeks ago, I know you mean cold, but I'm thinking of how Hamilton is basically a 2.5-hour crash out of Aaron Burr. And that's all I got, really.
You want to hear something funny? Not you, but the listener. I just learned what crashed out meant, I don't know, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I had to ask. I'm getting old. I have lost my connection to the youths. I no longer know what the cool lingo is.
I think I'm worse because I'm still using the cool lingo from 2017. So
it's okay. I know that lingo.
So it works in our circle. But in terms of saying something in the last week, just sparked the let's go get this bread. Remember that one. Remember that one. That was a big one in, I think, 2018-ish. So just got to bring it back. Just like I'm trying to bring back Farmville via Dreamlight Valley and Poke Wars.
Nice. Well, do you have any training updates you'd like to share?
I do. I am fresh off an 18-miler today.
Woo!
Yeah, woo is one word for it. Actually, no.
Hey, you did it. You did the thing.
That is true. It went pretty well. Overall, it just, I have never, I wouldn't say never, but it's been a while since I've gone into a long run this underprepared. And I don't mean I didn't bring any fuel with me, because I have done that. But in terms of this morning when I was getting myself ready on Sunday morning, I was like, what if I just move this to next weekend? I got home yesterday. I was in the O'Hare airport for 5-6 hours, I think. I had gotten there early because that's when it worked to have somebody drop me off. But and to say I wasn't feeling it in a lot of ways, just, y'all know that I am not a Sunday long run girly if I can avoid it in the first place. So that having a funeral on Friday. I don't know what day it is. Like, I know what day it is, but I don't, like, I'm so thrown off right now in general. Like, today feels like Monday, and just we're thrown off. So, in terms of like, well, like the socks I had laid out are like not super thick socks. Like, all right, whatever. I had not like just certain like little like small things that are under preparedness. One of them being pickle juice, which we'll get to later.
Oh, pickle juice.
And it was like, okay, well, this is a nice, like, it was 56 when I started. And I was
Gorgeous.
so happy about that. I didn't bother to look at the humidity, which was like 89%.
Rough.
Yeah. So I am just, cooking along. The first 12 go really, really well. I'm like super duper happy with it. And then like the whole, I've been having some, I wouldn't say stomach issues because I don't want to necessarily characterize it that way, but in terms of like being more bothered by the overload of sugar that's in gel. And I'm not demonizing sugar, just like the artificial taste of things.
Yeah.
That has been bothering me more lately. And I realized after not bringing a pickle shot with me, it's because now I'm used to having a pickle shot that cuts that for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided I was going to take like a little siesta at home around 14. So I ended up getting to 14.7, took a little siesta at home. The way that I chugged some pickle juice I had in my house, it was like, I wouldn't say disturbing because like I didn't just like take a whole pickle jar to the face. I'm not judging that because I have done that before, but it made life so good. And then the way that like within 20 minutes I started feeling like a person again, like I no longer felt like, because I would like my last set of gels I took, and they were Cliff Shot blocks, like I was like struggling to chew them and swallow them, and those are delicious. They were strawberry and I like strawberry.
Ooh.
So I think that, and again, like I don't know, with all like the summer that I've been whining about long runs, to be honest, I don't know why, like for some reason that like pickle shots have evaded me, but that or immediately kind of turned things around. And then I decided also that I was just going to I walked the last 4 miles. I had Mr. Natalie along the ride for me, so that was nice. And I mean, I was like, oh, we'll just do 3.3, to finish up May 18. And then we just went a little bit longer than that. So that was kind of nice. But I think, going in a little, I don't want to say fully underprepared, but because that's, again, I was prepared. Like I had KT taped where I needed to. I had body glide, like all those things like I did, but yeah. And it turned out okay
We all space a little bit sometimes. I don't think that's like a unprepared thing. That's just sometimes things slip.
Yeah, and it was one of those where it was starting to get toward, because then I also slept in more than I do before a long run because I was just a sleepy girl. I took like a almost 2-hour nap yesterday when I got home from the airport after I showered, and then also went to sleep at like 8:30 p.m. after I took a 2-hour nap after I got home from the airport. So to say that we were just like a little out of sorts is like putting it lightly. So I wanted to get out like, around 7, like, I was like, okay, I don't really want to wait much longer to start getting out while it still is the 50 degrees. And then, but it turned out fine overall. It's crazy though, because I really, as things are scheduled right now, have 120, like pure 20 left because 2 weeks from now is the Halloween half. And that's going to be, I was thinking about that today of how I'm going to handle that. I think I'm going to count, like obviously count my mileage walking to the start line. I'm going to shenanigans on course, and then I'm going to finish the delta of the miles that I need to get to 20. But then I really only have one like pure 20 left, third week in September. So like in terms of like really, really long runs, that's the last one I have. And that's weird.
Isn't it kind of exciting though? No, we're too much nerves to get to the excitement part yet.
Yes and no, because I feel like I've had like, guys, if you guys don't know, and I'm proudly preaching to the choir, like summer running is rough. Like being in double digits, usually this is around when I was getting to them anyway. By this point is
Mhm.
rough. Rough.
But
Um
usually now is just like the very beginning of it. Like we've just usually hit half marathon kind of distance by now. Just
yeah.
starting to get there.
Yeah. So like the struggle of that, it's been a little rough. So I think that I'm also used to having like, you know, I think at least my cycle last year I went like I'd have like a crappy one or like fine, but not like the best. And then I'd have a really good one. And then I'd have kind of a crappy one, then I'd have a really good one in terms of how I felt with like my like super long runs. So like it's like, okay, I have one left and that's it. That we're done in terms
Mhm.
of feeling things out. But I don't know. I think that even like how much better I felt in the morning with, when it was like 56, even though it was humid AF. Um, I think I just need to remember that and hope for weather like that and actually cooler than that. And just recognize that again, it's still a lesson in your long run pace in August is not the same as it's going to be in November. So when it's 40 degrees and yes, it's like probably like 25-mile-an-hour winds, but whatever. That was good. My other runs this week were good. My speed workout, I still am trying to master this. It's 2 by 2 miles with a 5-minute recovery in the middle at a specific pace. And this is the one where like I keep going 3 for 4 in terms of hitting that pace. But usually it's because I take the third one too hard and then I die for the fourth. This time I took the first one a little too conservatively and I only missed it by about 4 seconds. But then the rest of them were all like on point. They were faster than what was prescribed, because of course they were, but they were all like within a second of each other. So
That's so satisfying.
I will get there. I will, because I also because I tried to. I felt myself kind of like I slowed down that first because I'm like, oh, I had done the math incorrectly in my head of when I was, where when I would hit it, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to slow down a little just so I don't use up too much of my juice in the very first interval and then I die in the next one. And then I realized like a little too late to like speed up and like get under, because again, I only missed it by 4 seconds, so it really wasn't the worst thing in the world. And then what I was under on the rest of them was more than enough to take me. So my average was 3 seconds under what was prescribed. So, you know, it'll be fine. I did more strength training this week too, which was good. I think I had 2 full strength days because I had to adjust. I did have to adjust some of my plans because my week. I'm like going back to front, so like not how you're supposed to wipe, and our real girlies know.
It's a terrible joke, Natalie.
It was awful, and I'm probably gonna cut that, but I don't know. It's kind of funny. But like Monday started off with like a huge rainstorm and like thunder and lightning, so I just did strength that day. Not just, but I did strength that day because I wasn't going outside for thunder and lightning for safety purposes.
Safety. We love safety. Unlike my race organizers from a week ago.
Felt me bamboozled the whole time. But yeah, I've already crossed 100 miles for this month, which is disgusting. We're coming at you live on the 24th of August, drop on the 26th, and I already am at 106.75. Ooh, that is satisfying though. Yeah, that's nasty.
That's awesome.
We'll see how this week goes. We'll see. Just with some work stuff I have. How about
Yeah.
you? I feel like I've yapped for a while.
Well,
Ruh-roh.
it's good because we talked about all of your good stuff. Now I can just like bring down the party.
Let it out.
What a week it has been. So last weekend, I ran that half marathon. I do not regret it. It was great, and I'm really proud of myself for doing that. However, as I was not as prepared as I should have been, I was very sore for a lot longer than I would have liked. Uh, I was still struggling with stairs on Tuesday. So 3 days post half, I was still like not comfy on the stairs. I was like, all right, we won't do a run today. We'll wait it out. We'll see. should be good to go by Thursday. Well, Thursday comes along, and we had some visitors at my office coming, and they scheduled a team outing. So we took like, I don't know, 20 something people to Top Golf.
Ooh.
Fun, I know. And I'm actually like not terrible at golf, thanks, Dad, and for teaching me when I was a child. And that's kind of like riding a bike. You don't forget how to swing a golf club. So I'm like fairly decent. We're not talking like I could play it as a professional or anything, but like I'm not terrible. And I was having a lot of fun, but because it's Top Golf and it was a work outing, it's not like I brought my own clubs or brought my proper shoes or anything. I was wearing Vans, not a very supportive shoe, and they were also, I think, tied probably a little too tight on my right foot.
Ooh.
And we were there for 2 hours, and I woke up Friday morning and my ankle has been hurting ever since.
Ooh.
So I think we have a combo of ill-fitting shoes and the twisting motion that happens when you pivot to swing a golf club. It's like you kind of go from like a squat position. If you've never played golf, you go from like a squat position, you rotate your left, well, if you're right-handed, you rotate your left knee in and your toe goes up and your heel pops up, and sort of, it might not, it sort of depends on your flexibility, and then you come through, and then on your follow through you sort of strike this very elegant pose, and you definitely pop your foot, and so like your ankles do some twisting, your hips also do some twisting. Anywho, I think the twisting in ill-fitting shoes was not great for my ankle, and it's not so bad when I like point, it's more of a flexing, which is very unfortunate for running, considering every single time you take a step, you're basically causing your foot to go through that flexing motion. So we've opted not to run on an ankle that hurts when doing absolutely nothing. So we're just going to wait it out a little bit longer, unfortunately. And I also have, sadly, to report, I have confirmed that my 3 toenails that I thought I had bruised last week are for sure bruised. I do not know if they will hang around or not. I think so, but we'll see. And I falsely reported last week that I didn't get a blister from my run, and that is not true. I
Ruh-roh.
did. So we're really on a roll, and I'm not even through all of it yet. So I have a little blister. We can name him or her. I think it's a him. It's on my left big toe, just to the right of my big toenail. So like the inner side, right? That would touch the shoe, basically not the side of my toe that touches the other toe. But it's like, it's very small. It's probably smaller than an eraser kind of thing. But it's very red, and it was putting pressure on my toenail, which did not help the fact because the toenail is also bruised. Great time. My vote for the name, I'm naming it myself, but if you come up with something, we can go with that, is ETO, because, Alien 13.1, ET, ETO, toe, ETO. It's a terrible pun.
Well, now I'm thinking of Hot to Go, and it's like
Oh,
like ETO.
ETO. My toe is hot to go.
This blister needs to go.
Yeah. All of my problems need to go. It's not fair. There's too much all at once.
Preach.
And then,
Oh God.
here
we go.
To really top it all off, guys, I thought, it's the seasons are changing. Georgia likes to play with us like that. So like it's definitely still summer, but we've been having a lot of rainstorms, a lot of like changing. It's still hot, but like you can tell it's trying to change to fall.
Mhm.
And so I thought I was just having allergies for the past week and a half or so. Pretty sure I have pink eye. Because the eye be gooping and running and watering and crusting and all the things. Sorry guys, it's gross, but like I also slept 11 hours the last like 2 nights unprompted. So my body's trying to heal itself. We'll see. All of these things going wrong with my body, I thought like, you know what we should do? We should go to the running store and buy new shoes. That'll fix everything. No. No, it won't. But because I have the bruised toenails and the blister on my toe, this was before I realized that my eye was allergies. Maybe not allergies. I don't know. I'm gonna go to the urgent care and find out. But I thought I need to get back. We're really starting to hit our stride. We're going to be trying to keep up with mileage. I don't like any of my shoes at this point. I don't have a single pair of shoes that don't give me a blister or like hurt my toes beyond 4 miles, which is a problem.
Ooh, yeah.
So I was like, we're in a sticky situation of I need to be doing the running. I need to be getting back with my schedule, but I don't like any of my shoes, which makes me not want to put them on.
Fair.
So I thought, oh, I'll go. I even though my ankle is in a little bit of pain, there's no swelling or anything. So it was like, not like it was going to affect fit. Went to the running store, got possibly one of the best sales people I've ever had at the running store. And we are big proponents of getting properly fitted, but you can have hit or miss depending on how well trained the person you get is. And his name was Jack, and he did a fabulous job. We did
What store? Just
it's a local store here in Georgia called Big Peach Running.
Gotcha.
Company, and they just opened a new location only like, I don't know, 15 minutes from my house.
Nice.
So that's very conveniently located, and they're trying to start a running group, so maybe I'll join them in that. But they scanned my feet. They had me do a gait analysis. They sized my feet as well. My 2 feet are, I think I've talked about this before, my feet are a whole half size, maybe a little bit more different from each other, which means I have to size for my bigger foot. That's pretty normal. People have different size feet. But when we got on, and I was telling him, like, I warned him at the beginning, I'm like, I have finicky feet. It might not be the feet. It might just be me. I might be the finicky one. However, I was like, let's just lower the expectations at the beginning of this appointment in case I'm high maintenance. And they scanned my feet. He was training another sales associate while I was there, so he was like shadowing the whole time, and he got really excited when they scanned my feet because he was like, oh, okay, this is very exciting. So I know we talked about flat feet the other day, but this is what high arches look like. And he was like, these aren't just high arches. This is the end of the scale for high arches. Because, so if you've ever gone and had your feet scanned, they kind of show it like a heat map of like where you're putting the most pressure on the mat is what is the darkest. And then like it goes from like red to greenish color kind of. So normally you're going to get, like, if you ever made foot handprints on the window in the school bus with the side of your hand, you don't know what I'm talking about?
I thought you were going to say with your foot. I'm like, what were you doing on the bus? Okay,
with the side of your palm. If you make a fist and you put the side of your palm on the window, it sort of creates that like classic like baby foot situation. Then you use your finger to make the toes.
Yes.
Anywho, you get like a connected, right, from the heel to the ball. It's all connected. When I stand on the foot scanner, I have 4 little islands of the balls of my feet and my heels. The sides of my feet don't put any pressure on the machine, so you can't tell. I mean, obviously they're feet, so they're connected, but like from the machine, you can't tell that like my arches even touch the ground. Period. So that was fun. And also I put like on my right foot, which is my dominant foot, I actually put very, very little weight on any of my toes except my big toe. That was kind of interesting. That like my weight distribution is that way. And then they walk to see if I pronate or supinate or any of that stuff. But it was funny because we went through all of that, and he was like, he brought me my shoe, and he was like, this is the shoe that I think is the right thing. I was like, okay, I have that shoe. And he was like, okay, so what's the problem with the shoe? Tell me let's work through this. So I have an 880 and a 1080. Those are my two, and then I wear the like Super Comp for marathon, which is New Balance. These are all New Balance shoes, by the way. And the 880 is the one that I can't go more than 4 miles because my toes start to hurt because I thought it was swelling or like maybe I needed to size up or something. The 1080 is the next shoe in their line. It's like more cushioned. It's meant for higher mileage. And I don't get the toe problem in the 1080s, but I get blistering in the 1080s on like my bunion edge of my ball of my foot kind of thing,
Hmm.
on the left foot specifically, which is my smaller foot. And we looked at the shoe, and I was telling him, I think there's like a seam or something in the shoe there that rubs because this foot is smaller. So like when the ball of your foot is in the toe box, it shouldn't like it should follow that curve of your foot should also basically follow the curve of the sole of the shoe. But if you have to size up for your bigger foot, your smaller foot, the like, for lack of a better word, the like knuckle of your toe sits too far
Mm-hmm.
back and rubs against the part it's not supposed to be in contact with. And in New Balance shoes, the tongue of the shoe is sewn in at the toe. But they also add an elastic gusset on both sides of the tongue to keep it down. So it won't like slide around or move around in your shoe or like slide from side to side. And he was like, well, what if we just like cut the gusset out and then it's not there and it can't rub on your foot? And I was like, you can do that. You can cut your shoes apart. I don't know why this is a foreign concept. You basically destroy your shoes in ballet like on purpose. So I don't know why that's a foreign concept, but I didn't think you could do that. I don't know. I thought it would like damage the shoe. I also tried on an ASIC Nimbus, I think, which I also really liked. My biggest problem with shoes, 99.9% of the time, is that my heels, they're not actually as narrow as I thought, but they're not very deep, I guess is the best way to put it. Like the height of like my heel to sort of like where it curves in where your Achilles is at
Mm-hmm.
your ankle. Mine's not very deep, so like shoes tend to like if the heel cup is too deep or too wide or whatever, my foot slips out.
Gotcha.
And that's why I have such a trouble with like I need to like lace up my shoes. That's why I've laced them with a runner's knot. And so we tried those. ASIC did this very cool thing. We got into all kinds of nerding, geeking out about shoe materials while I was there. And ASIC does this thing with the inner liner of their shoe that is, they kind of created like scales almost
Ooh.
on the inside. So it's ridged. So when you put your foot in, you're going with the fabric. So it's smooth. It's really like slick, easy to get your foot in. But then when you pull back, you're pulling against them and it becomes very tacky because you're going, it's like if you like stuck, how when you drive your tires over those spiky things that you're not supposed to, but if you're going the right direction, you don't get a flat.
Yeah.
But if you go the wrong way, then the spikies dig into your tire.
Yeah.
It's like that, but not painful.
Huh.
So it keeps your foot from like coming out of the shoe. So I did get those shoes. I had to order. They're coming from like another store, so I have to pick them up next week. And Jack offered, he said, if you bring in your 1080s, I'll cut the gussets out for you in the store because I've done it before and you don't know what you're doing. So like I'll show you how to do it basically.
Ooh.
So I'm going to bring in, I have two pairs that didn't get nearly enough love last season because I was so scared of getting blisters.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have him cut those out, try them out for some like, we'll go with like 6-7 miles to start because I know my toes will be fine, but I know that that's when I start to get into like blister danger zone. And hopefully this is like, I've already gotten the things that come in threes, right? I've got the bruised toes, I've got the blister, I've got the ankle, I've got maybe, this is more than the three things, I've got the maybe pink eye. Hopefully this is me finding out that I only have to buy one new pair of shoes left for the marathon block because I'll have these, I'll have my two 1080s, that'll be 3 shoes for the next few months, and then I'll need my race day shoe, and that's it. Everyone keep their fingers crossed. This is my bright side. This is my silver lining.
I like the optimism.
Thank you. And on a brighter note, we don't have any other submissions for the Blister Brigade. So, like, Good job, us. Good
Yeah.
job, team. So proud of you guys.
Yeah, the closest thing I have is an altercation with my loafers. Uh
Oh no.
yeah. So I only have one speed of walk and it is power walk. Um
Mm-hmm.
if you knew me in high school, I was can you stop power walking through the hallways here? Was walking, I parked at the airport and the shuttle was taking too long, so I was like, all right, I'm just going to walk it. And I went at my normal speed, which is fast, the dopey walk, if you will. And
Mm-hmm.
I cut up the back of my feet in my heels because my loafers, I don't wear socks with these ones. And yeah, it didn't really impact my runs today. So I kind of forgot about that.
Yay.
But it was like Band-Aid City trying to because I only brought I am trying to be more of an adult, by the way, and not overpack for
Oh no, I gave up on that.
48-hour trips to my mom's
Mm.
house where like I didn't need like certain toiletries I know I leave stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
Um so I'm trying to be better about that because then also what I do when I'm home is like if there's stuff in my closet that like I haven't had a chance to bring over yet or bring back to Nebraska yet, I try to like take stuff, with
Mm-hmm.
me. So I always come back with more than I went home with. But I I brought just one pair of shoes. I almost didn't bring running shoes because I know I keep an old beater pair for if I'm walking the dogs when I'm at home. And I'm so glad I did because then I put them on while I was in the airport. I changed into them and to relieve the cuts on the back of my foot. But yeah.
Well,
So
I'm glad it didn't turn into a full-on like problem. That would have been not great.
yeah, it was a little problematic for like the wake and funeral I was at, but we survived. Survive in advance.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like those kinds of things, funerals, wakes, weddings, all the like big events where you have to dress up and look nice and stuff. Those are the worst shoes. I don't know why they do that to us. Why would they put us in such terrible shoes for such things?
So it's the worst things. These are just my normal like loafers I wear all the time to the office, but I don't do a lot. I don't like power walk half a mile from the airport parking lot to the terminal in those on a
I
normal
don't think
basis.
people expect you to power walk in loafers.
Yeah, still love them though. I love those shoes. Even though we're fighting right now.
Well, you know what else is kind of scary?
What?
Halloween. We have 9 days until Disneyland Halloween Half Marathon Weekend 2025. For training, you have 30 minutes if you're not doing the challenge, and 30 to 45 during the week if you are. 5K has a 30-minute long run. 10K also has a 30-minute long run. The beginner half has a 3-mile long run, and the experienced half and challenge both have 4-mile long runs. Natalie, are you prepared? Do you have a travel plan?
Okay, I have a plan and I've had a plan. I just
Is anything executed?
yes, my flight there is executed. It's just the home one that I'm still working on because this is another situation. I'm really trying to be good. And I'm like, I'm trying to get on a flight that's like, gets me like home, like to my house by like 5 p.m. And it's like, wow, what you could also do is like spend more time at Disneyland. And but I'm almost executed on that in terms of also because I will be paying less per night now that I am because I made this hotel reservation June 10th, a long time before I got a bid, and the rate per night is cheaper now. It is cheaper
Wow.
by like $10 a night, which that's a couple ciders. Well, not on the West Coast. That's something I'm going to justify. So I just have to add. I'm adding a night so I can stay till Monday. But I've made like my plan of like how many park days I'm going to do. And then I was in like check out for tickets and then I got distracted by something else. So, but then I also, because then it's not, that's downplaying it to say I got distracted, even though the fact that I would get distracted is very plausible. It's more that I was like, oh, let me double check Undercover Tourist just in case there's like a better ticket deal, which there is, and I'm going to buy it through them. I think save another $30. I'm like rolling. I'm rolling. So when I buy a piece of merch I definitely don't need at the expo, like that's from my savings. Girl math.
Love it. We love some girl math. We have 58 days until Wine and Dine Half Marathon Weekend 2025. Training is 30 minutes during the week if you are not participating in the challenge, and 30 to 45 minutes if you are. Pick your poison. I haven't said that in a while. 5K has a 2-mile long run. 10K has 4.25. Beginner half, experienced half, and challenge all have 9.5-mile long runs, but the challenge also has a 2-mile walk. That's right. It's a back-to-back weekend. Good luck, everybody.
If you didn't realize, your ADR date has come.
Come and gone.
Yeah. Or like if you're doing your split staying like I am for the bib I don't have yet. But yeah, it's just a reminder that you can make your advanced dining reservations.
Yay. Good plans. We have 134 days until Marathon Weekend 2026. We have 30 minutes for Marathon, 30 to 45 minutes for Goofy, and 45 minutes for Dopey during the week. Beginner Marathon has 3 miles for your long run. Experienced Marathon has 4 miles, and Goofy and Dopey are 3. Have fun, experienced marathoners. We have 156 days until Disneyland Half Marathon Weekend 2026. 184 days until Princess Half Marathon Weekend 2026. And your proof of time deadline is September 1st. That's this week, guys. I know that's scary, but it's this week. Don't forget. We have 233 days until Springtime Surprise Weekend 2026. Your shirt deadline is coming up soon on September 22nd, 2025. And your proof of time deadline is still January 5th, 2026. Natalie, let's talk about the Disney news, because there's a lot.
There is, and this probably will take over the greater portion of this episode. In terms of news we got in the last week, Zootopia Better Zoogether opens on November 7th in Animal Kingdom. The Disney Parks blog did say to keep an eye out for DVC, annual pass holder, and cast member special previews. So could that be a little wine and dine overlap? Maybe.
I'm hopeful.
The Disney Parks blog also announced that Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps will be sporting costumes from Zootopia 2 in the meet and greet station near the attraction. Zootopia 2 comes out November 26th of 2025.
So you're saying we get to see them before the movie comes out? Potentially.
Potentially. They were a little cagey about when that meet and greet would start exactly. They didn't give a date. I mean, that's a little cagey. Oh my God. But especially the context of that movie. But yeah, they didn't exactly mention when that would start. I assume that we're going to be around when the attraction reopens, but you know what they say about assuming. In the last week, when there was some information about Big Thunder Mountain, not a reopening date though, right? Where I had to make sure I like re-scrolled like twice just to make sure that like
didn't miss it.
That I didn't miss it. But there will be additional magic added to the Rainbow Caverns when it reopens as part of the ride. So
I'm excited.
I think the lighting upgrade, like I'm hoping it's kind of close to what's over at Disneyland, some of the sounds and stuff like that. I think it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah. I was watching, I don't know, one of the many Disney news videos that we watch on a regular basis in this household. And they were saying that it's like a nod back to the OG.
Ooh.
Big Thunder, like all the way back before whatever it is that they have at Disneyland now. So I think that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. Huh, that is a cool piece of trivia. Also gonna touch on some Muppets first. The concept art for the Muppet Takeover of Rock and Roller Coaster was revealed. We didn't get an opening date or a closing date for the current iteration of Rock and Roller Coaster, though. So, um, it looks really cute. And this is so funny that I, of all people, am being like, yeah, we didn't really learn a lot about anything Muppety.
Mhm.
Okay. But it looks like, I don't know, it looks cute.
I told Natalie we had to talk about this because I have stronger feelings than she, and I
Like,
don't care about the Muppets.
again, weird.
It just, it feels I'm not surprised because with, like, the time frame and the scheduling and all that, it's not like we knew they were keeping the track. We knew it was
Yeah.
all just basically a reskin, but I really thought they might do something with the pre-show or whatever, and it really genuinely feels like they're just gonna, like, pull out what's in there and just pop in animatronics. Now, I am excited that the animatronics could be like, hopefully they're really cool and, like, good animatronics. Um, but I don't know, I was hoping for a little more zhuzh, a little more something something than what they have so far shown in the why can't I think of the word? Concept art. And I don't know. I do think it's cool. They mentioned that they're gonna redo the piano with
Hmm.
some golden keys. So like
Which I like.
that's fun. And they're gonna be redoing some of the like paint job to match the like very out there wild like neon colors of the van that they drive in. I don't know what. I can't remember because again, I'm not a Muppets person. I'm literally just recalling what I heard from my news segment. But I was just a little whelmed and I feel more strongly about that. Like if they're going to take away my beloved rock and roller coaster, they better freaking crush it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that I don't know. I think there's just going to be so much more to come that like I'm not really like,
You're not getting worked up yet.
no. No, not about this. Don't worry. Um there's other things I'm getting worked up about.
Do you have
Uh
feelings about Buzz, good or bad?
oh, we'll get there. We will get there. Um but yeah, I think that we're just going to learn so much more soon that like I don't know. I was like,
That's
okay,
fair.
cool. Um neat. Great. I know that some of the speculation has been like, oh, like, are the penguin animatronics going to be from Muppet Vision 3D? And does that mean that, there'll never be some sort of like Muppet Vision, like 3D, like revival? I don't think so. I think they could spare a penguin or two, if I'm being real with you. There's a whole like orchestra of penguins.
Hmm.
But what the kind of word on the street is that everything from Muppet Vision 3D, all the animatronics and stuff like that was pretty much it wasn't demoed. It was taken out like pristinely. Like everything is in pristine condition. Squirrel thought for a second. If they bring back backstage magic and because sometimes they'll take you to the warehouses where they have like stuff that's big like props that are undergoing. If I saw a Muppet animatronic, I think I would lose my mind. Oh my god. Okay. You can't have your picture or you can't no phones out and stuff like that, obviously.
Hmm.
But I would lose it. Anyway,
But you
but
can store that virtual image in your brain and your heart forever and ever.
oh yeah, I remember like some of the things that I saw from there. Um, but that'd be so cool. Anyway, yeah, I'm just not really all that worked up about it. Like it's because I feel like it was some good concept art, but I didn't feel like it was enough for me to get like jazzed about
Hmm.
in any way, shape, or form. Because I'm also holding on to my Delulu hope that Muppet Vision 3D goes into the villains building once Villains Land opens at Magic Kingdom. So
Mm-hmm.
Delulu. I also checked on the Run Disney Virtual 12 Days of Christmas. That registration was last week, so I hope that you had a very, very successful registration. And as of time of recording, it is open. You still can register. Um, I had to
For
click.
everything? Or do you have to, is it all or nothing?
It's all or nothing for this one, where
Yeah.
it's the whole that you can't just do the
It's a whole kit and caboodle. There's no individuals.
yes, you couldn't just do Kermit and Robin, or you couldn't just do the individual ones. So, um, because I had heard that it had sold out, but I was like, before I say that, I'm going to make sure that I double check that. And I'm glad I did because it is still open. And I had to click off the tab real quick because otherwise we are going to have a dilemma. For somebody who is still working on booking their flights and buying their park tickets. I don't know if I need to be. Anyway, now on to my precious, my Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz.
We got a lot of Buzz Lightyear news this week. At Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin at Walt Disney World, specifically.
Mm-hmm.
There was a media event on the 21st of August where they showed the new ride vehicles. They look so good.
They're beautiful. Gorgeous.
This is something that doesn't even make me like worried about because they are stunners.
And they still have, like, they're gorgeous, they're new colors, but they still have that classic, like, Buzz feeling. It doesn't feel like they've totally, like, redone the ride or anything. It just looks like the perfect refresh, in my opinion.
Yes. They have a little bit more of a nod to Buzz's colors. So the front side is purple, which you can imagine why Hannah's happy. But like the purples, the greens, dopey, white, and like the Star Command like logo on there. So that's beautiful. I'm very excited. My boy getting the TLC he deserves. Because I believe that the ride vehicles that we had prior to the closure were the holdovers from the original iterations of this ride. So like Delta Dream Flight and If You Had Wings. So these are like a full like new vehicle. Dude, do you think that like they've sold the other one? Like, okay.
I think they just repainted and put in new stuff.
They looked flatter.
Really, you think?
I thought they looked a little flatter.
I'm gonna have to do a side by side. I don't know.
Oh man,
They might have. I mean, to put in the new electronics, which we haven't gotten to yet, maybe.
I'm gonna have to do my recon out of Disneyland because I think those ones are flatter too. I'm just really bad at that version of them. Yeah, they look a little bit like, I don't know.
I've got the new one. I'm trying to find an old vehicle picture to compare to.
I had to just write old. That just hurt my soul. But I need to see it like closed. I think they're fully new vehicles because I think that it's more rounded in the.
Do you have a picture on your phone?
I was gonna say, why don't I just look on my phone because I've definitely like taken.
I don't know. I think they're. I think the old ones, they are definitely curved. Maybe they are more like square-ish rather than rounded on the front.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
We only have the front view, so it's kind of hard for me to tell the like extent of the curvature. They might be a little bit flatter. Maybe they just redid the front part because that's where they had to put the electronics in, because the back half looks very, very similar.
Yeah. It does.
And, you know, Natalie hasn't covered this part, but the changes, besides the paint, that have happened to the front part of the vehicle are what I would call extensive.
More investigative discovery. I know, like, I'm going to, like, you know when, like, a movie character, like, picks up, like, I don't know, like, some sand, like, rubs it between their fingers and, like, just, like, lets it, like, go into the wind. That's what I'm just gonna, like, touch the Buzz Lightyear, like, the new Buzz Lightyear vehicle, and I'm just gonna go, this is different. Because that's a totally normal reaction to have to something like that. And, you know, guys, like, Buzz Lightyear is, like, my precious. Buzz Lightyear is my, like, she says, having waxed poetically and gone on a last-minute trip for the Muppets. Buzz Lightyear, it's important to me, okay? Sometimes Buzz Lightyear is the only ride I do in the Magic Kingdom, and then I leave. Anyway.
We went, got pictures, did Buzz, and left during...
Yes, we did.
Marathon?
Yeah, marathon weekend. That is a trip is not complete unless I've done Buzz Lightyear, okay? But anyway, so there's going to be a new scene with Buddy the support robot that makes sure that the departing space rangers are fully equipped for their upcoming mission.
He looks very cute.
Something that's really interesting is that this is a new animatronic character, obviously, but it's like
Mhm.
more original park IP, which is something we don't tend to see that often anymore. Right? Where it's like an
Mhm.
intellectual, they're creating an intellectual property that's specifically like in the parks, like Figment,
Mhm.
everybody's least favorite. But like Figment, Sunny Eclipse, Skippy from the extraterrestrial thing back, terrifying, back in the day. But it's cool because I feel like we don't see quite as much of like Rex over at
Mhm.
from Star Tours and now in Oga's Cantina, but we don't really see a lot of that often anymore. So I think it's kind of neat that we're gonna get like in this refresh, we're gonna get like a fully new character. Um, I'm gonna talk about the handheld blasters next. So the laser is going to always be on and come in like 2 different colors per Star Cruiser so that you can tell like one's green, one's pink. Okay, I guess I have Wicked on the mind, but
I think it's red.
I think it is probably red, but I don't know. Pink goes good with green just because I have Wicked on the mind always. But there'll be 2 different colors so that you can tell like the new lighting, sound, vibrations. So you can tell like if you hit something.
Mhm.
Um,
Does always on mean we don't have to pull the trigger? It just really has to like go across then?
I don't know. And I don't know if I like the idea of like not having to pull the trigger on it.
I imagine we still would. Maybe
Yeah.
it's just like a guide situation.
Yeah. I need somebody to clarify that because I think
Because
yeah,
otherwise, how are you supposed to like basically spam one target?
yeah, unless they're taking that ability away. No.
No,
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 no, no,
no,
no.
no,
That will
no.
cause me to crash out. Um, but it's supposed to help the players. I have the very, very unpopular opinion, and this is probably a skill issue. I am way better at Walt Disney World's Buzz Lightyear than I am at Disneyland's, which Disneyland has the handheld blaster and like it's not an always on thing, but it like that that does not help me.
Mhm,
I honestly do better with like I do better with the Walt Disney World one, and I think it's probably having more practice, but I don't know.
mhm.
Um, Also, the static Z targets are not going to light up and react when hit, so not just like
Stay there
stay
and
there.
let us spam them.
Yes. Um, so that is a feature over at Disneyland where it like lights up and like a little like ring around it. Some of the videos I've seen are pretty cool. Here's something that has me aboard the Perplex Express. The maximum score will no longer be 999,999. It will now be unlimited.
Hence the extensive changing because they updated the scoring to a digital screen instead of the individual number slots. She's freaking out because she doesn't know what they're doing with Galactic Hero.
What
And
is
she's
Galactic
really good at
Hero
that.
now?
I never got Galactic Hero, so I'm a little bummed for the opposite reason because I have never achieved it. But I don't know. You have a lot of Galactic Hero buttons. Can I have one if I get past 9999999?
Absolutely, yes.
Hooray.
I have yeah, we have a lot of them between my mom and I. Um yeah, I it's like a digital screen, real-time scoring updates. I'm sure that's awesome, but like the concept of like it's going to go like getting to a million makes me feel icky. That makes me feel icky and there's no reason for it. I know. But also like I can't do a double gun like extravaganza now.
But maybe now that they have like higher thresholds, maybe they'll have like a leaderboard for the day and you can like be the highest scorer of the day or something.
That is true. That is true. That could be. On Toy Story Mania, I usually win my car. I've never won the hour, even when I specifically time it. So I'm getting off the ride at like 5:01 p.m.
Mhm.
Somebody has usually beaten me to the punch because I know some like to open the ride, like the cast members. And obviously, when you have to ride it like every day, you get really good about that. But I've never won the hour. And I just Because then this begs the question of, are they going to change the targets? Like, which ones are like the good targets? Are they going?
Probably.
I mean, yeah, they probably all will. Are they going to nerf the back of the robot's hand? Like, what? Are they going to nerf the claw? I guess I can
I
share all
don't
the secrets
know.
now because they're probably going to change them.
Yeah, but this is your opportunity to be a trailblazer, Natalie. This is going to be your opportunity to find them all. We're going to ride the ride a bajillion times. We're going to figure out what all the scores are. We're going to take diligent notes and report back to the listeners.
You know what? I like that. The bottom of Zerg's ship, like, maybe there will be different ones. And then I'll have to get better at it, and then I will reeve up the Buzz Lightyear boot camp that I give.
Mm-hmm.
I will reinstate. It'll be 2.0 of this. I just and I know then okay, as somebody who does love Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin, this is like obviously like the tender love and care being put into it to improve it is something that I on principle love.
Mm-hmm.
I am happy to see that they're putting so much effort into it. They're upping it. They're up in the game here. So I'm very glad because I think that would cause a full crash out if they got rid of Buzz Lightyear entirely.
I
uh,
hope they're giving Buzz from the pre-show a lot of TLC because I feel like he's been out of commission a lot when we've been in the queue recently.
yes, I believe that I feel like it would be so weird to upgrade all the tech on the ride and then be like, here is still this like glitchy face, which actually it's kind of interesting because I believe that was one of the first screen faced animatronics that Walt Disney World had, which are a little bit more normal now if you think of Anna and Elsa and the Frozen ride, with the faces that are screens, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, but Buzz,
Tiana when it's not freaking out.
true. Although I've never had her like that off on there, so like, uh, but yeah, on principle, on principle, I'm very very happy. I just am a little like what if I didn't know what I had until it was gone? Okay, what if I just didn't know? No, I knew because I love Buzz Lightyear, and I think my last like day in Magic Kingdom, during the Muppet farewell trip, I did have my last Buzz, so. And of course, I galactic heroed up in that ish. And I almost had an in-show exit too. So I am overall optimistic along those lines. And this isn't something we have in the outline. Do you think this is like kind of like a soft launch to the like phased like updating of Tomorrowland? Do you think, well, maybe this isn't the soft launch, but like we are soft launching into it?
What updating do you think they're gonna do? Like, do you mean like in the cafe and like that kind of thing?
So something in like the Diz fandom a lot is that people make fun of the fact that Tomorrowland is just sad. That like it's
Because it's not
tomorrow.
tomorrow-y anymore.
Yes. If you think of the Tron of it all, if you
Mm-hmm.
think of the work they put into Astro Orbiter, which to be honest, I don't know. I know it was down for quite a bit, but is it like kind of like a soft launch, like into like, will we see the Speedway then kind of get an upgrade? Carousel of Progress, you better not, you better
I
stay.
mean, I know
Stay
they
home.
have plans for the Speedway on the West Coast to change them all to electric vehicles. So maybe it's a slow changeover, but I feel like it's going to be a really hard sell to like re-theme almost. Like obviously it would still be tomorrow, but
Mm-hmm.
like to go ride by ride and change like the exteriors or whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't know how it would look a little weird for a while, I think, if they tried to update that without closing most of Tomorrowland. Or
Yeah.
like I guess you could like if they had timed it well while Buzz was down, they could close most of the square or the like whatever you call it, the little circle, because
Mm-hmm.
you could still access Space Mountain probably like through a redirected way through the gift shop, and then they could just have Tron
Mm-hmm.
going, and they could still have the restaurant open. I think, and they could figure that out, but like that'd be a lot to block off
Yeah.
for a while.
And this isn't something I think they're actually going to do before they do Villains Land. Like I would think that that's probably um you know, how everybody like we saw the writing on the wall about Dino Land for years, even before they put
Uh-huh.
the blue sky thing up, is like, yeah, Dino Land's gonna go. So I feel like, you know, and that was even I feel like before they did Avatar, it was like, yeah, Dino Land is sus. So I
Mhm.
feel like it wouldn't happen until after that's done in the first
But
place.
yeah, I
But
would say maybe in the same way that once they have a new land to draw the attention,
yeah,
then they can shut down an area for a while, maybe.
yeah.
I think it's a ways out then. Ways out.
Oh, yeah. Because I think the struggle with Tomorrowland is that you're obviously trying to predict tomorrow, but it's tomorrow based on today, and that takes time to build. And then sometimes that's like, I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't see the big problem with Tomorrowland the way a lot of people do. Like I like my campy, like future, not really ish tomorrow.
Mhm.
Like it's like my kitschy, and like yes, that's because it's what I grew up with and is comfortable, you know, comfortable in a way. But um, because I know it's a bi-coastal thing where like people complain about it on both coasts. So
Mhm.
but I like my campy, like, yes, this is like futuristically kind of sort of, yes.
Mhm.
Um, you know, Stitch has been closed for how many years now? 7 or so. Um, I don't know. But that's kind of just something that I thought about. I was like, well, like we have the Tron of it all. We have the, you know, they put the work into Astro Orbiter. They have updated costumes in Carousel of Progress. Not that these are like some of these are as big of things, but I kind of wonder if part of the eventually, like we're kind of like leaning toward a refresh of Tomorrowland. If they put a lot of money, or they put a lot of time and effort into upgrading the People Mover track too a couple of years ago, within the last several years. So I don't know. Speculation.
Speculation nation.
Woohoo! That was not something that was not a rant I was expecting to go on, but you know, you know, you do find out things like this at things like D23, but like not this year because it's a Destination D23 and there is not going to be a parks panel. I know that was a somewhat controversial announcement. And we'll talk a little bit more about some of the logistics behind Destination D23, which is this week. But I wasn't super surprised because I feel like usually we don't get a lot in the because so there's D23 and there's Destination D23. Destination is like the smaller version of the event every other year. Last year we had a full blown D23. So I wasn't super surprised to hear that we wouldn't really have like big
A
updates.
bunch.
Like because it was just that announcements will be made throughout the year. Like I don't know if I needed to hear an official panel with Josh tomorrow that we shut down Dino Land. like we shut down Dino Land and like the Cementosaurus is gone and Triceratops spin is gone. You know, like stuff like that where I feel like we've had some stuff open, which is great since last D23 last August, but I feel like unless they were going to which I'd rather see rather than all these new announcements, I'd rather see them kind of fulfill these promises that they've made. And, you know, the dirt is moving, as they said last year. I'd rather see all of that kind of come to
Mhm.
fruition than like get like a bunch of like weird little announcements this year and that are like not really substantial personally.
Mhm.
But I don't know. And I feel like I don't necessarily need an update about how they're moving dirt. And like, you know, I think the aerial view of Muppet Courtyard right now is a little bit of a touchy subject. So like I don't need to see it. I don't need it. But anyway, um Destiny or I guess what's your thoughts on that before I get launch?
I mean, I have never I just, like, wait till it all, like, comes out and see, like, what happens, but I've never watched a live stream, I've never, like, tracked it the way especially you did with Jamie and such last year, but, um, now that we've been doing this for a little while, I probably will be, like, paying a little closer attention. Even my family last year was like, "Did you hear this? Did you hear that? Did you know that this was announced today?" And I was like, "Yes." So, I don't have any strong feelings about that. I feel very similarly about, like, park stuff and just news in general. I feel like from what I've heard in the past that they make a lot of, like, blue sky promises at D23 events, and I'd rather hear about some more concrete stuff and see it executed and executed well, because I think, Disney is Disney. They've got a lot going on, but and I haven't even been to Epic yet, but I feel like Universal said they were going to do something. They did it and people are loving it. So I'd like to see the same
Mhm.
at Disney.
Feel like I'd rather just kind of hear next year a little bit about like, okay, this is what we've done. Like, this is also what we have coming up. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I think a lot of people were like outraged though, which I mean, again, we have Ohana Noodlegate. We had as a Disney Society Ohana Noodlegate. So, but anyway, Destination D23 is this week. The theme is Journey Around the Worlds of Disney, and it occurs Friday, August 29th to Sunday, August 31st at Coronado Springs at Walt Disney World. The panels don't start till Saturday, but Friday is like your shopping event, and where you can pick up like there's a gift if you're or there, and you get your lanyard. Your badge will have already been mailed to you. If you didn't get your badge mailed to you because you're international or just otherwise did not get it, you'll be able to pick that up on Friday so that you can get entry into the event. Um, this gives me like mild event guide vibes, so I like really dug in here. Um, Parking and transportation. If you're staying at Coronado Springs, you can park near your room or use valet parking. In your like the your presence will be actually having a reservation. I mean, will be confirmed at security. So your key to the world card, your magic band, etc. You can't drive over to the convention center. You are encouraged to use the bus to get to stop one at Coronado Springs or walk. If you're not staying at Coronado Springs and you're driving, you will need to park at the ESPN Wide World of Sports and take a shuttle over to Coronado. Friday shuttles run from 6:45 a.m. to 6:45 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday shuttles run from 5:45 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and they take you directly to the convention center. If you're taking rideshare, your drop off and pickup is at El Centro. There will be no transportation provided directly from other Disney resorts. Must use rideshare or park at ESPN. This next part is not this implies this is implied is that you can take your Disney transportation though, so you can take a bus. Say you're staying at Port Orleans,
Mhm.
and you can take your bus to Hollywood Studios and then bus to Coronado from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're going to stop running those buses. So,
If you're a late arriving guest, they won't be allowed to park at Coronado. So I guess it's one of those things where like you gotta wonder what happened that they had to put that in the
mhm.
information. Like, I guess that's been tried enough times that people he's like, you guess what? If you're late, like guess you cannot park there unless you're obviously if you're a resort guest, you're a resort guest. In terms of your food, Coronado has a lot of really good food offerings just in your general life. So there will be some special offerings. Check out the D23 app. But
They get
some
their whole own app.
Oh, they do. Disney loves its different apps. um, there will be no walk-up ordering at Three Bridges for lunch during the weekend. It'll be mobile order only. I love Three Bridges. Another kind of note or thing to note is that Rick's Sports Bar won't have mobile ordering service and will have very limited for walk-up reservations. This is a holiday weekend in the US. It's a Labor Day weekend, so just note that things are just going to take more time. It will be just busier. There will be food trucks, 12 to 2 for the most part. The pizza cone truck, which is a Run Disney favorite, will be there. I didn't see exactly where it would be, but I assume it's going to be near the convention center. Cactus Azul, the Knot, and the Chef Mickey food truck. You can see on the D23 website what the different menus are because they do change between Saturday and Sunday. There is on Saturday, August 30th, Cusco-topia at Typhoon Lagoon.
That's exciting.
Yes, it is. It is included with your D23 tickets. It's from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Shuttles from Coronado Springs and ESPN will run from 7:15 till 11:30 p.m. Shuttles from Disney Springs will run from 7:15 to 12 a.m. And they encourage guests staying at other Disney resorts to take Disney transportation to Disney Springs and then bus from there. The parking lot and rideshare drop off will open at 7:30 p.m. and no early entry. Water parks close at 5 or 6 p.m., so they don't want people coming in a little early.
Mhm.
Where you will, if you didn't get your event badge mailed to you, um, it'll be at the North Veracruz registration on Friday. We're starting at 7 a.m. on Friday. Um, Queuing on panel days will begin at 6 a.m. They will not kind of allow unofficial queues to be recognized because they said they will turn you away. So if you think like, I don't know, I guess like you're going to line up and be like, yeah, this is for the Disney villains, icons of evil, and you're going to line up at like 5:30 in the morning and like kind of expect, yeah, that's not going to happen. Gift pickups where you're going to get your lanyard. It's Coronado H starting Friday, 8:29. If you can't get it on Friday, it'll be at guest services. Some of the highlights, I'd say, from the panels that they do have scheduled. They have a Walt Disney Studios showcase. They have Disney around the globe in Japan, creating the happiest place on earth. That'll be really interesting, I think, because we're in the 70th anniversary of Disneyland. And what's cooking with Disney Eats, that I'd love to hear a little bit about. There's a whole like Goofy movie panel on Sunday, the 31st. There's Be Our Guest with Disney on Broadway. Just celebrated 30 years of Disney on Broadway. Stuff about Disney Channel, insider looks of Disney castles. So I think that there's a lot of interesting information that different people that'll speak. I can't wait to hear a little bit about it. Despite, I'm not going. Maybe that's not that obvious, but I'm not going to be there. But it seems like a really cool event. I mean, it's like a big con. Or convention. I shouldn't say big con in like ripoff. I mean, big con is in convention.
I think people got it.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that, make sure that that was clear. But yeah, there's a lot. The merch looks cool. A lot of like very classic, like Walt Disney Imagineering looking merch. And yeah. Any thoughts that you have?
Mostly just disappointed that I can't be going to Cuscotopia.
Yeah, that
How
sounds
dare
awesome.
they? Yeah, that sounds really fun. I don't know. I hope to, when they talk about Disney villains, to get some more sneaky peekies, updates, something, but
yeah, there's also throughout the week leading up to D23, there are different little like events and like stuff out in Disney Springs in terms of so starting on Tuesday, August 26th, there are some separately ticketed events, but there's week-long discounts and offers at Disney Springs. Speed puzzling. It looks like there's a Cirque du Soleil.
Speed puzzling.
Yeah, that actually looks so lit. At the Edison. There's a on the road Goofy movie throwback premiere. I think they definitely had those around the country because I know I've had some friends who've gone to those. But yeah, if you're a D23 Gold member, there's lots of stuff that you can do throughout the week at Disney.
Should we round out the episode with some fun facts, Natalie?
Oh, I'd love to. On this day, on August 26th of 2008, The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Beginning, is released on DVD. It is a prequel to The Little Mermaid, if you are wondering what the heck I just started talking about. And it follows Ariel standing up to her dad about there's a rule in the undersea kingdom about music as a result of their mom dying. And Ariel standing up to her dad about that. I can't say that I rate this one very highly, if I'm being real with you.
I don't know if I ever watched it, to be honest. I know that I've watched some of the sequels, but I don't know if I ever watched the prequel.
Okay, so I liked Little Mermaid 2.
Okay.
I liked that one. I just Listen, okay, I love the terrible like sequels. I love them. Okay, I was going to include Lion King 1.5 in this, like, but that wasn't a terrible sequel. That one was awesome. Lion
Mhm.
King 1.5 being like what Timon and Pumbaa were up to the entirety of the events of the Lion King.
Yeah.
Cinderella 2, love that, where it's like little short stories of like what people are doing after Cinderella becomes like the princess. Love it.
Mhm.
Love it. Cinderella 3 is an abomination. It's the Deus Ex Machina of freaking like, what if like we turned back time and Anastasia or Drizella became like the person that the prince chose instead of Cinderella? No. That one is awful. Awful. I cannot.
Yeah.
I cannot with that one.
I do like number 2 of Little Mermaid. I was a fan of Melody.
Yes.
Melody is adorable as an infant, if I do say so myself. I just remember her in a little puffy cake looking dress.
Yes. Yes, where she wants to be a mermaid.
Yeah.
And even though Ariel's not a mermaid anymore, which is
And
like,
speaking of sequels, now I'm gonna need to go watch Atlantis too. I haven't seen that in a while.
there's an Atlantis too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
It's Milo's Return. It came out in 2003.
Oh boy.
Which is funny, because, like, everyone thinks Milo's dead. Or at least that's what they're supposed to think, I think. Isn't that how they set it up at the end of number 1? Is that, like, there was, you know...
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's been so long since I've seen Atlantis that I kind of don't remember. Spoilers? No, I'm kidding.
I think if we're giving spoilers for the first Atlantis movie at this point, that's not our fault.
But what I think we should do is we need to have like a like. Wait a minute. Okay, March Madness next year. Miles Madness.
Best sequel.
Yes, best or worst sequel. So we have to watch them all
Hmm.
and have people submit their rankings for. There's probably enough of them.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many.
There's so many.
Absolutely. All right, guys, get ready.
Get ready. Not sure how it's Miles Madness, but whatever, we'll make it work. You can just pick
It's
for
tangential to Disney. It really doesn't have to be related to running. I'm sure we can find some way that they run somewhere in the movie.
based on percentage of running time or just things to like bad like bad Disney sequels to watch with and I mean like the direct to VHS ones, like direct to DVD ones. Like I'm not talking like Incredibles 2. That was a good movie. But or like stuff like that, like or Toy Story 2. Wait, I don't know if we've ever talked about this.
I don't know. There's debate of when Toy Story goes downhill.
True
that we could have. Not today though.
True that. Where do you stand on the Toy Story 2 debate? Because I feel like this is like, do you like Toy Story 2 or not?
Is Toy Story 2 the one where we get Jessie and like the big box and the whatever the pink bear guy is?
Not the pink bear. That's 3.
He's not in that one. That's 3.
That's Lotso. But no, Toy Story 2. Basically, the premise is that.
But they're like collectors. Like the guy's a collector, right?
Yeah, the pink bear comes to daycare, or with the daycare situation when Andy goes to college. But in 2, Al the creepy collector freaking steals a child's toy from a garage sale that accidentally made it in there. Freak. And Buzz and the gang have to go rescue.
It's something. I don't dislike that movie or anything. Like I don't have a hard grudge against it or anything, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
Mr. Natalie and I just get into a debate about this one where he's like, Toy Story 2 is not great. He hasn't seen 3 though. And I'm like, well, the first one, Woody and Buzz aren't friends the whole time.
Yeah.
Like that makes
they're
me sad.
enemies most of the way.
That like yes, it's iconic and it's really what, it's an iconic movie. But it makes me sad that they're not friends the whole like most of the time versus Toy Story 2, we get Bullseye. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. So yeah, we're excluding like these types of movies like meant for no, I mean like I just want like the direct to VHS as my sample pool, or we just stack all like the A teams of like Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, not Toy Story 4, that doesn't get included in the bracket. We're already planning. See, we're planning. This is how a lot of things come to fruition, everybody. This is
we thrive on chaos.
that we do. That we do.
Fun fact, when we were in college, if you haven't heard like our backstory, because like, it's been a while, Natalie and I are sorority sisters, and I am her big. Our family name was the Chambly family.
Yes, we
Or
were.
the Uncorked family, kind of both had going on, because we're
quirky.
Yeah, we're quirky, and Chambly is the name of the game.
Exactly.
I don't know where to go with that.
No, neither do I. But I think that, I don't know, sounds like about that time to get going.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye! If you enjoy listening to our show, please leave us a review and a 5-star rating. We love reading your reviews out loud, and you might even be featured on a future podcast episode. We have a community spotlight on our Instagram at Stride Sisters Podcast. If you want to be featured for a Metal Monday, Finish Line Friday, or any accomplishment you want to celebrate, please send us a picture via our social media platforms or our email. And to continue the fun, join us on our Facebook page. All the ways to connect with us can be found in the show notes. Thanks for listening. Until our next adventure, we're wishing you endless smiles of magic and memories. See you next time.
Can hear Sushi purring. She's like, it's my turn.
Do you want to say hi, Sush? Do you want to be on the show?
She's like, well, not like that. Hi, Sushi.
My hand is aggressively sweating, holding Sushi on my lap because she's like half hanging off. But I don't want her to like try and hang on with her claws, so she's so sleepy. She's so cute.